the cues you need to watch out for, and the global handover that's coming in. So let's talk about US markets and how that shaped up. Well, we see a sea of red coming in as far as the US markets are concerned. In fact, the average has dropped on the fear of artificial intelligence disruptions spread across the market, most notably into real estate, trucking and software sectors. In fact, S&P 500 dropped nearly 1.6%, while Nasdaq Composite lost about 2% in the trading session, and Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 1.3%. So sharp cuts coming across US markets on the fears of AI. We also have stock futures that are quite flat actually. S&P 500 futures, that's down 0.02%, while Nasdaq futures have gained 0.04%, and Dow Jones Industrial Average is also very, very flat. So the futures are very flat right now, but a negative handover is what we see coming in from Wall Street on the back of the looming fear of AI, Shrishti.
Well, indeed, Ankita, no sector was actually left behind. We started that happening from the IT counters, and then even the financials and rest of the sector is also seen to be participating. But in the tumble, what else was seen to be participating was actually the kind of sell-off that we have seen in the precious metal sides, because some of the reports do suggest that Russia is considering to return to the dollar settlement systems, and market reacted very sharply to that, because if the dollar is stable, then that might lead to the sell-off in the precious metal side. The stability is expected to kick in, and we have seen the gold retracing back to almost a 3.5% cut just in the 30 minutes, and within that span, silver actually fell almost 10%, and very big drops coming in on the commodity side. But along with that, with respect to the crude prices as well, it was IEA that sees the global demand rising slowly in 2026, but even this statement could not bring any cheer to the crude prices as well, because even Brent crude slipped almost 3% in trade just yesterday, and as of now Brent is trading and hovering around that $67.5 per barrel mark, which yesterday was close to $70 per barrel mark. So yes, like you rightly mentioned, it was a sea of red all across the board.
All right, so that's how the commodities were faring. But let's begin with the top global story today. The Trump administration has joined the EPA administration. Lee Zeldin revoked the Environmental Protection Agency's 2009 endangerment finding. The scientific and legal determination that greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane threaten public health and welfare and form the basis for federal climate regulations under the Clean Air Act. The White House framed the move as a historic deregulatory victory.
And moving on, and shares of the Apple Inc. experienced one of their roughest trading days in nearly a year, with the stock sliding sharply amid a combination of technical setbacks and regulatory attention. Now, this comes as a reaction from investors to reports of delays in the rollout of the major upgrade to Siri, and highlighted scrutiny from